In 2023, I was able to change my life and do some unreal things. And I think that through telling you this story and letting you know kind of the main hurdles that led me to get here is going to help you in your business take it to the next level. So if you're a business owner already doing between 5 and 10K a month, my name is Arius Williams. I'm a mindset coach and I help people get out of their own way. And I specialize in getting to the problems in our vision so we can create an actionable plan in order to help you shift your identity to not only a business person who's killing it, but the best version of yourself. So without further ado, I want to get right into this. So just to give you a little background, I've been in multi-level marketing and I was a coach in the top 10% of my company for the last like 5 years. And while I absolutely love that and I highly encourage people who are just getting started in business or online servicing whatsoever to check out multi-level marketing because it unbelievably opened me up to a world I had known nothing about. Before doing that, I was just a regular 20-year-old guy. I was a new dad. I didn't know that what I really wanted to do with my life. I knew I've always known I'd like to talk. I've always liked to encourage others. I've always liked to uplift others. And I got my first job at a mental health facility as a mental health technician, training in DBT and going over group therapy with troubled teens. And that's kind of where I got like my first love for, I guess, inspiring other people and bringing about change. And that's where I learned the principles of my main program, which is the fear wall. And that's kind of where I realized the relationship between fear and change in our life. You see, when we get an idea on how we want to change, it's always, not sometimes, not maybe, it's always held up by fear. Usually, this is the fear of failure, the fear of isolation, the fear of uncertainty. Right? These fears hold us back and they take over the voice inside of our head in order to stop our change or progress from moving forward to go back to the more comfortable version of our life that we're already used to. And this isn't actually your fault. Your brain is set up to do this. Our brain doesn't care about being happy whatsoever. It only cares about survival. And change is a new threat. It could, even if it's a positive change, like starting a diet or delegating a task in your business to somebody else, right? This is a change. So even though it has a positive end effect, our brain isn't able to recognize that and freaks out. And sometimes we'll let this voice inside of our head start going crazy and telling us things that really are unproductive. So this is where I learned was in this first job about the fear wall, and that once I knew that the fear wall existed, I stopped blaming myself for all my shortcomings. I stopped realizing that I was like, there's not something wrong with me, right? Like a lot of times when we're struggling through things, we think like, oh, it's just me. Like only I am going through these things. And that's just not the case, right? This is a very common problem. And so then fast forward a little bit, I get into my multi-level marketing company and I find for the first time people who are making $10,000 plus per month, which if this may be, hopefully not you in the video, but it could be, I didn't have anybody in my life who was making that kind of money originally, right? Like I didn't know. I didn't even hardly have people who had savings accounts, let alone investments, or let alone being able to go on vacations that are bougie, or being able to work from home and still make money overnight. Like these are all things that I was introduced to through my network marketing experience, and it was eye-opening. It was also the first time I learned about sales. It was the first time I learned about personal development. And this would end up being the vehicle that would take me to where I am today, performing and being at the highest level and helping entrepreneurs get to their highest self. And so through my multi-level marketing journey, I'm learning all these skills. I'm training on stage. I'm feeling fulfilled. But the problem happened was I became to get into a situation where my worth was totally dependent on my level in this company. And I want to pause because maybe that's you. Maybe your entire worth has been wrapped up into whatever business you're on or whatever service you're providing. And because you've had good months one month, then those are the months that you're able to celebrate and give yourself the pat on the back. But then you have a bad month, and you're right back to the beating yourself up or just the ruthless type of self-talk we can treat ourselves sometimes solely because you're having a tough month in business. And one of the other things I realized as I spent thousands of dollars and went to all these different seminars was a common denominator amongst the people who were successful. Okay, and I want to go over that common like denominator of success, and I want to help you apply these three main pillars of success to your life and your business So let's get right into it. So what I realized is everybody may have a different story, and we all have a different personality. We all have a different upbringing, and that's what makes us special, and it's what makes you so valuable. Is just the fact that you're different. So what I realized is if we're all different, but we're all getting the same trainings, we're all going to the same events, we're reading the same books. Why are people getting different results? And I used to wonder about that until I realized that people are getting different results because they're consistent in the vision of themselves and carrying out the daily actions that that vision would do in order to become the person that they want to become. I've said a lot of words, so let me break that back down. Step one, every successful person I've ever met in any business has an unbelievably compelling vision that pulls them towards their goals. It pulls them through their daily actions. It's not something they have to chase and they have to do. Their vision of themselves is so crystal clear, and it's usually so far out of reach currently that the level of daily action required to get there is a high level. And then number two, they're consistent. But everybody says consistent. And I want to say the secret of why they're able to be consistent, and that is momentum. When you have momentum, it's super easy. It's just like an airplane. In order for a rocket to an airplane to take off, they have to use a lot of power to get off the ground originally. But if they were to use that power consistently, right, they'd burn out and crash. And if they were to just use the coasting power at the beginning, they'd never get off the ground. So at the beginning of your business, at the beginning of your life change, or if you're already doing well and you want to do better, at the beginning of that, you're going to have to apply a lot of force and pressure to be able to get that thing off the ground. And then once we get up here, we're able to kind of coast, as they say, but you don't want to back all the way off, but we're able to definitely put less pressure than we're at. The problem is when we try to do that beginning amount of ultimate effort, we also want to make sure that while we're taking massive action and doing a lot, we're doing it in a way that's building momentum and not causing us to go up an uphill battle every day, because that's going to burn us out. That's the same as going full force all the way through the flight. What I mean is, say, in the example of a diet, okay, if you're somebody, you want to start a diet tomorrow, I highly suggest you do not cut out every single thing right away and begin to completely change every habit of your life immediately. You won't make it, right? If you start today and you are a completely different person tomorrow, a week from now it will be very difficult, not impossible, but very difficult to maintain that level. Okay, so we want to do things that are starting and habit stacking. So this week 1, we're going to drink water every day. Week 2, we're going to go for a walk and drink water. Week 3, we're going to go for a walk, drink water, and we're going to try to add veggies. Do you see where this is building momentum to where we're giving ourselves a pat on the back as we go along, and then it's easier to maintain the consistency. So this is key, the momentum. And then 3, the identity shift. Okay, and when I say identity shift, I mean you need to get so clear with the goals and the things you're doing that it is a shift in who you are, not a shift in what you're doing. Okay, so if your example, I quit nicotine products last year. In order to do that, I did not go around saying I'm trying to quit vaping. Because if I say I'm trying to do something, that's implying that I'll fail and that this is something outside of who I am. I have said I no longer vape. I am not a vapor. I'm not a nicotine smoker. Right? Like that's a whole different being and identity shift. And the only way that we can get our identity to make that jump is through consistent daily action and a compelling vision. So each part needs the other one before it. So I want to stop right now and I want to talk to you. If you're a business owner and this is resonating with you and you're able to say, wow, you're right. Like the people in my business that are doing well, they have a good vision. They have a plan that they can actually build momentum with, and their identity matches that. So they're carrying that out each day. And this resonates with you. And you want to figure out the same plan for you and apply it to your business to make more money and more impact. I want you to book a call with me down below or follow me on Instagram and check out my other videos. And when you're ready, we'll absolutely blow the lid off of this. For the rest of you guys, I want you to keep going. If you're not in a place where your business is already making 5 to 10 grand a month, if you're not ready, I want you to get the vision and start with step 1. Because if you have the vision and you know where you're going, the how will figure itself out. Thank you guys for watching. We're going to be posting way more on this channel. Have the best day.